Welcome back to Finnegan's Farm and welcome back to the YouTube channel. In today's video we're going to focus on our Fastrac icon yet again, because it was because of this you got to go on a little trip away.
I did, yeah. So I visited the JCB factory. The guys from ECI, Niall and Colin there, invited me over, and myself and a few other guys went over. So we did a party of 6 went over to the factory in Staffordshire where we visited very well impressed JCB Fastrac.
Yeah, so some of the things about the factory that impressed you most was...
Yeah, well, I mean, they have a lot of factories worldwide, and we went to see the Fastracs being made because obviously that was the one that interested me, and seeing the Fastracs, the 4220, the icons, and the 8330, which is also very, very impressive. I have to say, I did like that, and we did get a spin on the map, though we'll explain that as we go along. Yeah. So first of all, we went in and we got an introduction to the factory. They have a museum there, so it started back in 1945 by JCB, who was Joseph Cyril Bamford. I think he had some engineering brain in mind that he was going to create something different. I know he had a dispute with his uncle or something like that, and his uncle says, "Go on in your merry ways, and you do that." So he went off and he developed a tipping trailer. So initially it was I think it was a screw type tipping trailer that they developed. He had 6 employees. That was in 1945, and in 1946 or 47, I think they created the first hydraulic tipping trailer. So that was really the start of his engineering career. And then he went on then to develop the backhoe, which was an idea he's seen, I think in Sweden or something like that, when he's seen the backhoe working, and he said, if I can get that onto the back of a tractor with a front loader, maybe this would be a game changer. So that was where he started off. He'd only employed of 6, So then he moved on, and obviously over the years I think he developed the backhoe, and I think in 1958 was the first time JCB had their logo actually on the machine, on the backhoe loader, and from then they developed the load alls, and I think the Fastracs were was around 1990 or 91 that they started developing the Fastracs, making Fastracs. So the Fastrac is the world's quickest production tractor in the world. And from
and there was a tractor there that was the fastest.
Yeah, so they have I think they currently hold 3 world records. One for the quickest fastest tractor, one for the quickest, I think the quickest car actually as well, JCB have it, and also the quickest backhoe, which it does with 72 kilometers, 72 miles an hour. I'm not sure, but the tractor initially when they started it, and it was a good program there with Guy Mark, because he was the driver on it. That was 2019, I think, when they started to develop the quickest tractor. And initially it was it was an ordinary engine of 220 horsepower, but by the time they were finished, I think they had 1,000 horsepower in the engine. It was something crazy. I don't know, they were doing it with turbos and electronic turbos, and they stripped all the compressors off for an alternators and just made it so light. We have a lad talking about that, which we'll put on there.
Yeah. So this machine was the one that was driven by Guy Martin in the footage. And once you've taken your photos, we'll have a bit of a wander around. I'll explain some of the key components and what we did to build that machine, and achieve a top speed, a peak speed of 154 miles per hour with this machine. So the top speed, so the record attempt was done up at Elvington near York. It's an airfield near York, which has got one of the longest runways in the UK. I think it's about 2 miles, the runway. And in terms of width, it's just wide enough for you to be able to turn the tractor around at the other end as well. It's literally, we were curb to curb when we turned the tractor around to do the second run. Part of the world record attempt, you have to set an average speed over 2 runs, so there and back. It's not just a flat out speed track. And it was around 130, I think 132 was the actual officially recorded average record. And then 154 was the top speed peak. So let's go and...
So we got a model tractor, a replica tractor of I think it's the 600 of them made, and picked one up anyway. So I think we have the 60th, is it?
61st, I think.
61st edition. So that would be a nice collector's item to have in years to come.
And then you moved from inside the factory to outside.
Yeah, well, so we couldn't film inside the factory. First of all, we went through the museum, and it just shows the whole transformation of when he started in 1975. I think he handed it over then to his son Anthony Bamford, and from there, I think he'd one factory at that stage, one or two factories, I'm not sure. One factory, I think, and then he went on. He went over to India. He built a factory over there, and subsequent factories after that. I think they've over 20 factories worldwide, employing, I think, even around 14 to 15,000 people. Like, so it's a huge turnover. The company, billions. I think 14 or 15 billion the turnover annually. So it's very impressive. But just to see that space in over 80 years, just to see where it has come from to where it is now today.
And do you know how many tractors did make in that factory itself?
Well, in the Fastrac, it's not a big where they make the Fastracs. I think they're producing 5 a day, so we could see coming down the line there was a 4220 and then there's an 8330 behind that. You see with the different chassis in them, different engines, like CISO engines as against ICO and all this. So it was nice to see it. Now though, another factory then making 140 between backhoes and dumpers and that. Like it was off the scale really to see the amount of work that they were able to get through. Yeah.
And then he's obviously headed outside the factory and got to the field.
Yeah, so they brought us on a bit of a demonstration, had a kind of field scenario where they had 5 or 6 tractors lined up. Now they were all the icons, the 4220s and the 8330s, and the first one I hopped onto was the 4220 because they have made some changes with it as well, and some software upgrades even compared to ours, and you could see the difference in them.
Yeah.
So they'll probably have to be done on our tractor as well. I had a big rake. Obviously there was no grass to rake, but they were just simulating with I had a 50-foot rake, and it was just to see the way the rake was able to.
GPS.
That's
new to them.
Yeah. The section control even on the rakes was very good. And then I hopped into an 8330, and we had a big 6 metre. I think it was an Amazon cultivator on the back of that, and yeah, it could boogie now. I have to say it was it was very impressive. And from there, then they brought us on to onto one of the farms they have. I think they own about 11,000 acres in total, and this 3,000 acre farm was an organic farm, which they were farming deer and chickens and sheep and cattle and lots of pheasants and that.
Yeah, the deer look cool.
Yeah, and they had a lovely shot of the JCB Fastrac, which was, I think they go hunting themselves once a year as a family, and the kind of JCB has completely modified it for it's like a gun safe.
Oh, okay, yeah. I did see that bit.
You see a picture of that, and it's like a gun safe where they actually load all the guns to go out onto the chute, and really, really impressive.
Yeah, so one of the things I seen in the video was the loader. Now, Caleb has talked about the loader on the front to the 4220, but it actually looked neat and tidy on the...
Yeah, so they had a quickie loader on one of them.
Fertilizer spreader.
Yeah, there was an Amazon or a Coon, not sure. I think it was an Amazon on the back of it. And they had the quickie loader, which was modified, or I don't know, it was made for the JCB anyway, but it looked okay. Like it did look out of place on it, and of course with the 4-wheel steer and that would make it very manoeuvrable.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that's one there maybe to have a look at. You might see it in years to come. Now I think they are trying to develop another range, like a 6,000 range, because there's a big jump, we'll say, from the 220 to the 330.
110 horsepower.
Yeah, but again, like, I suppose the Fastracs have developed now into more of a tractor that's been used for the field rather than just the road. So,
because to be massive in construction end of things, and they're kind of only, well, they are in ag, but they're breaking more and more into it.
So they're coming more into the ag sector. We'll say a lot of field work going on, and they've developed a lot even on the software, even on the GPS and all that. They've kind of developed their own system to accompany that. So we had one issue we had with, say, this auxiliary here. We could not, when we connected the sprayer to it, just to get the Isobus working, it wouldn't work the functions on the sprayer because a little bit of a communication fault, but I mean they have the software to upgrade that to be able to work the sprayer. So yeah, lots going on in the factory. Loads of videos. If you want to YouTube, there's loads of say factory videos on YouTube, and if anyone has a good interest in machinery, or it's a great story, and it's all It's all
Yeah, I
there
might put
on
one or two
YouTube.
of them in the description below.
Yeah, there's loads on YouTube of them go through the factory and how the Fastracs are built. But just to see it, just going down the line from the bare chassis, engine, transmission, you know, and then they put the cab, the axles, the whole lot together. Like it's super class. And then the fact that we did get to drive it too was another plus.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
so I've been driving the Fastrac the last couple of days just before I went, just to get my knowledge up, because I wouldn't really be driving them that much. But yeah, it is a gorgeous tractor to drive, there's no question about it. And they have made great breakthrough in getting it to where it is today. So
yeah, the comfort that you have on the road in them is
you would, it's second to
best in business. Like, yeah. Are they thinking into the future in what way the tractors are going, or is there anything new coming down the line?
Well, they're just developing as it is. I suppose the 6000 series is something that they're going to develop. Now, I suppose if you were to find a fault compared to the other tractor, any different, the handbrake is, and there was a few, even the guys that was on the trip were asking about the handbrake, because it's not your traditional pull handbrake here where you have it's air assisted. This is an electronic one, but the way they explain it is that in time it'll be just more or less like the cars, you know, the way the brake automatically comes on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And you have to take off to deactivate it to be an automatic handbrake. So they didn't want pipes running up through the cab, air pipes running up through the cab, and then it just frees up this whole console.
Okay,
so there might be something going in there in the future, I don't know. But most things now they're very innovative, and any of that technology that's coming through, seem to know what they're doing anyway. So the engine, they're kind of curtailed on the chassis and the engine with the C2 engine. It has to sit inside the chassis, so they can't make it any bigger, and then to go with a bigger frame will affect their turning circle. Like the lock wasn't fantastic on the A330, if I have a thought about it.
And is that cramp steer as well?
No, it can't forward steer because of the size of the chassis. It's a bigger engine that's in it, and it's.
But even if this
it's no wider than the Icon, but the bonnet. Oh my God! The bigger engine and altogether.
But even if you're on two-wheel steer, this thing is not an unbelievable lock. Until you go to four-wheel steer.
No, it's very limited now. If you're turning in and you didn't know where you were going, you wouldn't get there.
No,
you wouldn't. No. You'd just be caught out, like you'd have to reverse. So that's another thing that they'll probably want to look at. But yeah, no, very interesting and great to see it, and delighted now that I did go over, because we were busy and.
Yeah, the weather just kind of broke lovely.
I was just gone, and then it started to rain that night, so there's nothing going on at home, and it won't be anything going on for a while with the looks of things either.
No, definitely not.
But yeah, the couple of factories now, look at the factories making transmissions, and Track's factories making axles and all that. There's loads of different factories. And they're expanding, they're building a factory in the USA as well, and over in America. There's one in Brazil, a couple in Brazil, and I think they've.
And where are all the parts mainly made, or are they just in certain factories for that?
Yeah, they make all the parts there. Now, I know they had some issues in let's say when they were selling tractors abroad, there was a lot of VAT and taxes to be paid, so they disassemble them and container them over, and they assemble them up in some of them countries then, just to avoid all that. So
other things that are happening on the farm at the minute we're harvesting Brussels sprouts, which I'll show you a few shots of now. It's only kind of starting at the minute. It will get busy, but we're only kind of digging 4 ton a day, or
we're just digging the elders. That's it. Harvesting, not digging.
You said digging there, didn't I?
Well, you said digging there. Yeah, we're harvesting now. We may be digging as well at the minute.
Yeah, because digging into the ground.
The tracks are getting hard to stay up. I don't know if you can see, but behind me now, we're here at Balrat, and it's just a sea of water. Hasn't gone yet.
And then we're kind of, all the cattle are in.
Chinese, flat out of them.
Yeah, so we're feeding and opened up silage bit, so I'll catch that next week. I was up there, but we just didn't really have time to be videoing. We were flat to the mat, so. Anything else happening?
No, not really now. The construction of the shed is going ahead, that's going on. The office is being built up, and we'll get another clip of that at another stage. But yeah, look, it was all go, then it was all stop, but hopefully then we get back out in a couple of days, might soak all that, get rid of all that water. Just one interesting fact there for anyone who's watching the video. People would always ask about the colour, why are they yellow? Well, they originally I think were red and white, and then they changed them to yellow, so obviously they could see them. They were visibly on construction sites around like that. You could see them.
That's why everything's nearly...
Yeah, so yellow, unless you prefer, some people obviously change it to their own colours if they're, you know, involved in the business. If they're, I think they're mostly yellow, and then some people might have them black, red or green or whatever it is, depending on what construction company they are. But that was probably one of the reasons that they changed them to yellow, just to visibly see them night or day.
Yeah, very good. So that's all from Finnegan's Farm this week. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It's free. All it does is notify you when these videos come out. So yeah, make sure to do that. And for myself and Dad here, we'll talk to you all next week. Good luck.